Hello everybody, my name is John Snediger. I'm the founder of LaSara.com, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to safely reconstitute your peptides at home. It's important to make sure you follow each step carefully, and if you ever feel unsure, contact our medical team before proceeding. Step one is to wash and sanitize. So first off, you're going to wash your hands thoroughly with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds. Clean your workspace with an alcohol wipe or disinfectant, and then lay out all of your supplies on a clean, flat surface. For reconstituting your peptides, you're going to need your vial or vials of peptides, 1 vial of bacteriostatic water, 1 sterile syringe and needle for drawing the bacteriostatic water, and alcohol prep pads. Step 2 is to prepare the vials. First, you're going to remove the caps from the peptide, as well as from the bacteriostatic water. Next, you'll use an alcohol prep pad to sanitize the top of the peptide vial and sanitize the bacteriostatic water vial. After you let these dry, it's time to draw up the bacteriostatic water into a syringe. Now, depending upon which peptide you were prescribed, each peptide is going to require a different amount of bacteriostatic water to reconstitute the peptide. In some situations, you may only need 1 milliliter of bacteriostatic water. In other situations, you might need as much as 10 milliliters. Depending upon what peptide you were prescribed, you'll be receiving the correct syringes to help you reconstitute your vials. It's also important to note that if you are reconstituting a peptide that requires more than 1 milliliter, you can use the same syringe twice, 3, or 4 times to achieve the amount of bacteriostatic water is required for that peptide. For example, if this peptide requires 1.5 milliliters of bacteriostatic water, you could use this syringe 1 time and then use it a second time, but only going to the half amount. Your protocol will have detailed instructions of how much bacteriostatic water should be used for your peptide. For this example, we'll be reconstituting with 10 milliliters of bacteriostatic water. With this syringe, you'll remove the cap, draw the plunger back all the way to 10 milliliters or however much is prescribed for the bacteriostatic water. In this example, it is 10 milliliters. From here, you'll push the plunger through the top of the bacteriostatic water vial and push the air into the vial. This creates pressure, so it's easier to draw the bacteriostatic water into the syringe. Then rotate backwards, and you can draw the bacteriostatic water all the way into the syringe. Now that we have the 10 milliliters of bacteriostatic water, you can insert the needle into the vial that has the peptide. Before you do, it's important to note that you do not want to spray aggressively the water directly onto the peptide. Instead, you want to push the needle into the top of the vial at a 45-degree angle and let the water dribble down the side of the vial. This ensures the peptide does not foam up. It instead turns into a liquid solution that is ready to be injected. So now that the needle is inside of the vial and tilted at a 45-degree angle, I can press the plunger down to fill the peptide with the bacteriostatic water. As you can see, I'm going very slowly. Peptides are fragile, and oftentimes an aggressive movement, shaking, or spraying the bacteriostatic water directly on the peptide can negatively impact the structure of the peptide. Now that all the bacteriostatic water is in the vial, remove the needle. To recap the needle, simply leave the cap onto the table and then slide the needle into the opening. This helps you to not stab your finger as you're recapping the needle. Now that you're reconstituted, step number 4 is to store it properly. Once it's mixed, place the peptide vial in a refrigerator. It's important to keep it stored between 36 and 46 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a common temperature of a household refrigerator, but never freeze your peptides. A few standard safety reminders and best practices. First, always use a new sterile needle and syringe for each injection. never reuse needles, and dispose of sharps safely in an FDA-cleared sharps container. Your peptides are now ready to use. Remember that consistency in following your protocol and proper storage are key to getting the best results. If you have any questions about your dosing or injection technique, reach out to our medical providers at LaSara.com.